last week I did my first ever Kambo ceremony, and I want to share some profound realizations that have helped me become more free and more abundant. First, let me take you to the story of what actually happened when I did the Kambo ceremony. I was going there last Saturday, about a week ago, and I felt more fear in my body in anticipation of what was coming than for all the 4 ayahuasca sessions that I've done before. Even going to the jungle to Peru to drink ayahuasca was less scary in anticipation, so before, than than what I had with my ayahuasca sessions. I remember we were 12 people, and I was the first to go up to put the dots on my arm. They make a little, they burn a little hole, or they burn away your upper skin. So when they put on the combo, which is a frog poison, it goes directly into your bloodstream. And I realized, where I noticed before, even going there in the car and the night before, I had so much fear, and I noticed I was like trying to project what was gonna happen in the future, and the fear at some point became so strong. When I was sitting on the chair to get the combo on my arm, I noticed I was shaking. I even started crying, and I told the facilitators, like, I'm so fucking scared right now, and there's a big part of me that wants to run away. I had all the horror stories in my head about what could happen. As a side note, I've had a panic disorder for more than 10 years, severe panic attacks, and so I my relationship to fear might be different than the relationship that other people have with fear. And I noticed at some point when I was sitting there that the fears in my head became so strong. All the stories, I might die. I heard your heart rate would go up, a ringing in your ears, and this for me are all signals or triggers that could trigger a panic attack in the past. So of course, I was scared of what was gonna come. It was unknown. I had no idea what was coming. At some point, the fears in my head, the stories, what was gonna happen, am I gonna die, became so strong that I got so fucking tired of it, and I literally said, put it on. I would rather die, and if I die, then I die. Then it is what it is, than to live in this suffering of being in my mind and what's gonna happen and all that. And when I was younger, my in the period of my panic attacks, this was when there were a lot of terrorist attacks in Europe, and I was playing poker back then professionally. I was sitting in casinos, and I constantly had this fear of what if someone comes in with a bomb and this whole thing blows up. So I was living in fear constantly. And I remember at some point my mother called me when I was home, and she said, "Hey, look at the TV. There's been another terrorist attack." And I literally told her, "I don't want to know. I would rather die in a terrorist attack at some point than live in the constant fear of something that can happen, because the fear is actually worse than what is than what will happen. The stories of the fear are actually more disgusting, more scary, more nasty than what's actually happening." And this is what I noticed when they put the combo on my arm. The facilitator took me to my place, guided me to breathe through the experience. And in the first 2 minutes, I noticed my heart rate go up. I noticed ringing in my ear. At some point, I became nauseous. And of course, it's a very unpleasant feeling. And nobody wants to be sick, and nobody wants to be purging. Kambo makes you purge and remove the toxin from your body, also from your energetic field. And I realized that in the combo itself, it was unpleasant. And trust me when I say it's uncomfortable. Like, nobody wants to be that sick where you're like shaking, and it's scary. There's all kinds of reasons why we don't want to do it, but it was nowhere near as scared as the stories that I had in my head before. I actually felt so much lighter during the combo itself than sitting on that chair waiting in anticipation what was gonna happen next. So that's the first profound realization, that the stories in our head are so much more intense, can be so much more intense than what actually is going to happen. And our mind tries to predict what's going to happen and create all possible scenarios, but it literally doesn't know, because I had never done it before, so how can it know? So it's just projecting the fears from the past and all the experience and conditioning from the past to the future. So the past is like our memories, and it's putting our memories, a bunch of them together in the future to create a possible story that might happen. But because we have never experienced it before, we literally cannot know what will happen. So that's again the first profound realization, and was a good reminder of me again, and really helped me lately to stay in my body. Every time my mind goes into the fear stories, I pull myself back to the present moment and stay in my body and actually stay with what I'm feeling. Because the fear in my body, the discomfort, the uncomfortable fear feeling is not actually the problem. It's the horror stories that are related to it that are the problem. So when I find it easier to stay with these feelings, and then I also notice them dissolving and even turning them into another feeling, what I would can best describe as something like love. And another profound realization, or like after the ceremony, like it's not so that in Kambo something happens and then it's done, a process starts. And what I started noticing is the day after I had that day I had a nap. The day after I had a nap, I obviously slept during the night, and I started seeing in my dreams how in my dreams I went through the previous day, and I started seeing from a different perspective how in that day I was trying to control my life. I was seeing events that happened as positive or negatives. Imagine a client saying no to your offer. I was seeing this like, oh, it's negative and it should be different. And there's this mental resistance that we create then from, I wanted to be this. I want it to be this to be the outcome. I tell myself this needs to happen. I tell myself I should be doing this to what actually is happening. And I started seeing that my life is unfolding. Mine sounded a bit of a woo or spiritual, but I started seeing that my life is unfolding the way it's supposed to unfold. And every time I tell myself something needs to be different, I need to do more, I need to read more, I need to go to the gym more, I need to meditate more, all these things that we bring up again in our mind is creating resistance to what is actually happening. Imagine that your body knows, and the universe, or however you want to see it, God is knows exactly what's happening, and what needs to happen. And I can maybe even better describe it as, imagine that you can sit back in your chair and watch your life, and trust that your life is going exactly as it's supposed to go. And imagine then that we are constantly saying, no, this should be different. No, this should be different. Oh, it's like clinging on to everything and holding on. And literally my body feels like this when I do that. My body has been so tight and almost like cramping over the last 1.5, 2 years after my ayahuasca session in the jungle. This whole journey started, and I'm finally starting to realize it's not the body that's cramping that's a problem. It's my relationship to what everything that's to everything that's happening that's a problem. I am trying to control what people are saying. I'm even when I'm creating this video, before I started making this video, there's stories in my head like, oh, I don't need to forget to say this, I don't need to forget to say that. And it's all uh, first of all, not trusting. If you fully trust, you can fully let go. And I'm seeing more and more that if I fully trust and let go and don't try to control what's coming, if I have a difficult conversation coming up, just trust myself that I will be in that moment who I need to be. I will say what I need to be, and then you can actually sit back and just watch the show. So it's a big part about trusting. And I've been reading The Power of Now for this is the fourth time I'm reading it from Eckhart Tolle, and every time I read it, it's now been 3 or 4 years ago that I started reading. I read about 1 to 2 pages a day, really going slow and really checking in with the exercises and what's happening in my body, what I'm actually feeling. And I, from his teachings, I'm seeing more and more that every time I'm resisting, I am denying the present moment. I am denying what's happening right now. I'm constantly saying this what is happening right now shouldn't happen. This discomfort that I'm feeling shouldn't be there. This challenge that's arising shouldn't be there, or it should already be resolved. Every time I'm saying I don't want this, it shouldn't be there, I'm creating this resistance between what's happening and what I think should be happening. And this resistance actually is the problem. Yesterday, I watched the documentary for the second time from, it's called I'm Not Your Guru, from Tony Robbins. And there's a part where he says to the whole room of 2,500 people, one problem that all of you are having is that you think you have a problem. If you think you have a problem, you're creating resistance again, and this resistance actually is wearing you down and making you tired. I am 99% sure now that the last 1.5 years I have been in burnout, somewhat depressive state even. I've had suicidal thoughts, suicidal moments, and I'm seeing now that it's part of I didn't feel safe being who I want to be. I was still a fitness coach 2 years ago, and I was sharing about fitness, and I already knew, like, after doing ayahuasca and all this, like, there's so much more I want to share, but I felt afraid to be rejected when I would share this. So there's this part of you want to be something, and it's again resisting who we want to be. There's a part of us, and maybe our nature, who already wants to be something and share, but then there's our mind saying, if I share this, then something bad is going to happen. People are going to reject me. Maybe they're going to laugh at me. So we shrink. And again, if I shrink, you see me do this movement. When I say I shrink, it's literally contraction. It's again building tension in all parts of our body. My neck has been very stiff. My upper back has been very stiff. Um, and there is another thing that from the documentary I saw yesterday that I realized, and that he expressed in the documentary, and that's, imagine that, our parents, I have resistance to certain things my father did to me. There is, for whole my life, I've heard that I'm not enough. And of course, there's resentment there and there's unacceptance there. I don't want to accept that in a way. But by seeing that if my father would be the father that I wanted him to be, I wouldn't be this person right now. I wouldn't be this strong. So my father actually played his role 100% perfectly. He actually, every time he mentally beat me up, it was actually my training. And by seeing this again, and the mantra that I like here, and like I can say that I love here, is everything that's happening is happening for me and not to me. And now that I say this, I can see already, if you say it's happening to me, it's again resistance. It's happening to me basically is saying it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be here. I should be in another place already. Again, creating resistance to where you are right now and where you think you should be and how you should behave, and even go in the past. Oh, I should have done this differently. I should have said this differently. And now that I'm making this video, again, before I was making this video, or before I started this video, there was fears present, like, oh, I don't want to forget this. And now that I'm seeing, I'm just talking here, I'm maybe even just rambling, but I'm saying exactly what needs to be said right now. And it's this acceptance of what is that is creating so much ease, and actually talking about burnout and somewhat depressive state. My energy has been so fucking low for 1.5 years, and be questioning myself what's going on. And now I'm starting to see, like, of course my energy is low. If your body wants something and you're here right now and you keep saying I should be somewhere else, this shouldn't be happening, you're creating so much resistance, and this is a huge, like, so much energy is going there. And the moment you actually let go, I will share a meditation from Moji about letting go that I listen to about every evening, that has really helped me to stop clinging to my mind and what needs to happen, and continuously remind myself to let go, let go. It's safe to let go. It's safe to let go. And talking about safety, that's one more thing that I want to share there. There's a reason I couldn't let go before, and it's because I didn't feel safe. There's a reason that I literally tried every fucking tool in the book to get out of this and not get to my feeling, because it didn't feel safe for me. Let's talk about the fear. It finally, after all these more than 10 years, it finally feels safe to go to the fear, to not be in the stories what's going to happen, but to actually say, okay, I'm actually going to try a little bit at a time to feel the fear. And this is making me realize that the fear is actually not the problem. It's the stories that we create that are the problem. There's another tool that I want to give you, or there's one tool that I want to give you apart from the meditation that I'll share, and that's a prompt, or I would like to see it as a prompt, as the same as we put a prompt in ChatGPT and something comes out. This is a prompt for your subconscious mind, and it's a question, and I would like you, I want you to test it out right now, even if it's just for 30 seconds. You can pause this video at any time, and it's to ask yourself, close your eyes for a second, and I'll do it with you right now. And it's to ask yourself, am I at ease at this moment? And then feel in your body, try to feel your body as much as possible and feel what's happening. You don't want to answer the question, am I at ease at this moment, yes or no, or why not? Because then you're going in your mind, you're going in your head. When you're in your head, you're not in your body. So what you want to be is stay in your body. Am I at ease at this moment? And there can be, I can feel it's almost like something is pulling me. Oh, I right now it's 10:30 in the morning. Oh, there's a part that's pulling like, oh, I need to eat my breakfast soon because if I don't eat my breakfast, blah 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 blah, shit is gonna go bad. Oh, I need to do this part of work. And what I want you to do is just observe. Don't try to fix it, but just try to stay with what is happening in your body. Try to stay with the feeling. It's not the breakfast that I eat that I if I don't eat it that is the problem. It's my relationship again to what do I think of myself or what do I think will happen when I don't eat the breakfast. There's stories present, and not everybody of you knows this, so I'll share that. I come from a long 30 plus years of not feeling enough. I started going to the gym. I worked up as a personal trainer, had my successful fitness company called Own Your Life. I then did a fitness photo shoot, and it was very easy to cling to a certain structure and push myself 4 times in the gym, and this is the answer. And what happens now is that I created so many rules for myself that I now have to let go of these rules. And the only thing we can do when we feel that and we see that is to, when there's a story present or something you tell yourself, for a part of you that's saying, I need to do this right now. Maybe when you're resting and there's a part of you as an entrepreneur, I'm confident that you know what I'm talking about here. If you're resting, there's a part of you that's saying, I need to be productive. So you're resting, you're giving your body the rest. A part of you is screaming, I shouldn't rest right now. I need to create something, which is coming out of fear. If I don't create this thing now, then what's gonna happen? If I don't read this, even for me, it was even my journaling routine, my reading routine. I didn't read a book up till 3 or 4 years ago, and now I read 10, 15 minutes every morning. But even this became something to cling to at some point. Even this became, oh, if I don't read right now, I'm not gonna go to where I want to go. I'm not gonna be successful. And again, what I want you to do, if I can share one thing that I want you to do, is to start observing these stories, smile at them, and see that they are just stories. I, I'm not saying it's not going to be uncomfortable. The story can be there. The story will be there, and there will be still be resistance in your body. But the more you can watch the story and just smile at it, just observe it from being the observer, not being identified with the story, but actually I am the one who is watching the story, you will notice it will become easier and easier, and the story is gonna let its grip go. It's gonna the grip of the story, which can be feel like, oh, I'm stressed right now, and sometimes we are even stressed and we don't know why we're stressed. And what we can then do is ask this question again: am I at ease at this moment? And then see, oh, there's a part of me who wants me to be somewhere else. There's a part of me that wants to be more perfect, that needs to be more perfect. Oh, I should have done this better. To just start watching this. And to make a small link to Conscious Intimacy Games, Conscious Intimacy Academy, this is where we play certain games in a one-on-one setting. Me or Ricky, which are hosting right now, will guide you through the prompts and how we set it up, and then you will be placed with a one-on-one partner where we play such games as one of them being the stories I tell myself. So then for 3 minutes, and I want to invite you to, if you have someone in your life to play this game with, and just call someone up and ask if they are open for it. And then what you can do is for 3 minutes, you set a timer. You will just share all the stories that are in your head. You don't have to in the beginning, before you do it, you don't have to write them down. You don't have to prepare this. What we want to do is just sit down, ask such a question, and I'm at ease at this moment, or what stories am I telling myself, and then just share the stories that we have. We all have all these stories in us, different at times, but I see a lot of us, especially leaders, entrepreneurs, facilitators, healers, we share a lot of the same stories that it should be better, we should do more, we are too much, all these kind of stories. And by just sharing them, first of all, by expressing them, you're making them conscious. You're seeing by expressing them, you're saying, hey, there's a story present, there's a story here. So that means I am not the story. This creates distance, and with awareness, it's already letting go. Second of all, if you're in the presence of another human being, something magical happens, especially if they are just listening to you. They're not giving you advice. They're just for 3 minutes listening. They're not even saying anything. They're not even nodding. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I know what you feel. Well, I know what you mean. They're just listening with presence. And from there, you might notice that the stories are even more dissolving. And it's not just the magic that happens in the game, but the more we become aware of the stories, the more we can realize again, like everything. I'm now taking a break. I'm relaxing. I'm having fun. If there's a story coming up, like, oh, I should be working right now, I can just smile at the story. Oh, there's this story again. There's this story again. I can even know where this story is coming from, right? For building up my business and doing this photo shoot, being productive, and life was all about, oh, the more productive I am, the better it is. No, I'm realizing now, and to make the link again, in the beginning, I said I feel more free. The more we separate from the stories, the more free we become, the more free we feel, and the more the grip of the mind and the story is going to let go. We can even call it the egoic mind. And the second, when I say I feel more abundant, I am realizing more and more that feeling abundant is a state. I always thought for years that it was about money. I'm seeing now that when you feel abundant, it's feeling abundant for me means I'm okay with where I am right now. Whatever is happening right now is happening for me, and from there, nothing needs to change. And then you actually have so much energy. So maybe abundance is about being your energy, being in your power. And from there, I tell myself, when we create from that place, and not from when we are not feeling abundant and we have limited energy, we are creating in hope to get some energy from someone else. This could be a client coming in. This is giving us money, which money is also energy. So if we are feeling are in a state of lack, and we are creating in hopes that something will give us more energy, it can even be, hey, I'm alone right now, I don't have a partner, and I hope to get a partner. Then again, we are creating from a state of not having energy. We are creating from a state of fear instead of love. You can see abundance as love, and lack as fear. And the moment we start feeling whole in ourselves already, it's not about we have to change something. It's just about the realization that we are already whole, but it's just our egoic mind saying there's something lacking, there's something missing. All the stories that I just told you, I need to be somewhere else, I need to be more productive. It's all coming about. All coming from something is missing. When I say I need to be more perfect, I need to be more productive. It's literally saying if I am more productive, then something comes. If I am more perfect, then something comes. So you're basically reminding yourself all the time, if you live from that state, that something in the future is going to set you free. And that you are not free right now, that you are not abundant right now. And you might have noticed, if you have noticed, not everybody maybe, but I started seeing more and more, especially when like a man is walking up to a woman and he wants something from that woman. You can literally see the woman, and it's they feel attacked. They feel like the man wants energy from them, and it's taking a step back. The woman is taking a step back, like, hey, you want something from me. Nobody, no woman, and I am, yeah, I'm confident it's the same for men and for men. Like if a woman wants something from you, you feel that. If you get aware, and maybe if you don't feel it, it's still there. You feel that, and somebody wants something from you. Only when you're already whole and you can actually give something to someone, this is where the things are coming to you. Again, when I'm creating a post, and it's I'm creating this post in the hope that a client will come in. I'm creating this video in the hope that a client will come in. The client will not come. I'm creating this video right now because I felt a huge urge to express. I'm seeing already the video is already 26 minutes. I was thinking it's gonna be 10 minutes, but I'm actually having fun expressing this. If nobody watches this, maybe there's still a part of me that would be disappointed. I'm still human, um, but it's still okay because this is what I'm doing it for, and from there actually the clients will come. I've had similar. I see this with working with clients. The moment they can find the power in themselves, actually the things will come to them. The clients are coming. The moment they realize they don't need the clients, they actually are already, and there's exercises we can do to get people there in that state, to get people in that state of trusting themselves, and aligned action, creating an action or making an action is most of the time the way, because we can do all the mindset work, we can journal it, we can write it, we can do affirmations. As long as we don't take the action, we are not proving our nervous system that's actually safe and that's actually true. Your nervous system is a lot smarter than your body, and to make that link to what I just shared and the nervous system and the mind, if I tell myself constantly I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe, but I actually don't get to my feelings, especially the feeling of fear, I'm telling myself I'm safe, but my body is saying, no, 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 you're not safe. If you were safe, you would feel this. So only by actually starting to feel this fear and the lack in our body, and again, this prompt, am I at ease with this body? Just sit with it and just observe. Don't even try to fix it, because if you try to fix it again, you're saying it shouldn't be there. It should be different. So when we just start observing and we can feel more and more and more, and this is actually where we are becoming or realizing we are already whole, and everything will come to us. Again, if you watch till the end, I will share I'll share the question in the description. I will share the meditation video in the description, and I want to invite you personally, because many of you I personally know, to come to the Conscious Intimacy Games one time. Just send me a message and I'll invite you personally. You can come as my guest. You can even introduce yourself and share a little bit about your story before we start. And I want you to experience what we're doing there, and how this uh, doing this, not just writing it down, but being in front of people and doing exercises like these. They're called games, but most of them are actually exercises, purging exercises, releasing our shame, getting aware of our stories. We have transformational games, we have connection games, and I want you to experience what will happen, what happens, and how your life will change. For me, it has been profound. There's a reason I started working with Conscious Intimacy Games, not because it's going to bring in money, but because I believe that what we are doing here is actually what humanity needs. We can sit behind our computer, and trust me, I know how that is. We can isolate, and also trust me, I know how to isolate. I know how to go in my own, I'm not good enough, and then overwhelmed, being in my bed, and even having suicidal thought. It all started shifting when I got in front of people and actually started sharing vulnerably. Hey, I don't feel good right now, but I'm here. And instead of putting on a smile and, oh, everything is okay, I'm actually showing myself the way I am right now. And this is again saying, I don't have to be different. Who I am right now is enough. Who I am right now is exactly who I am supposed to be right now. So if you find this video helpful, please like, comment, share, send me a personal message. This is the first time I've created a video like this, and I would like to get your feedback again if this is helpful. And if you want to have a chat about this, then I'm always open for that. I love talking about these topics. As you might have noticed, I start talking with my hands, and when you see me talking with my hands, then you know I'm sharing from my heart, and I want the world to see this. So if you know someone in your life who is going through burnout, depression, struggling times, please send them this video if you want to do that, so it can also help them become more free.